I went in search of the final resting place of a medieval noble who was the courtly favourite and possible lover of King Edward II. So join me as I hunt for the lost tomb of Piers Gaveston and more medieval mayhem besides. Now the eagle-eyed among you will notice that Piers Gaveston is often portrayed minus his head. This is something of a spoiler as to what became of him, but the exact location of his earthly remains is still a mystery, although we do know roughly where it is, the village of Kings Langley in Hertfordshire. So hello from Kings Langley in Hertfordshire, where I think I've managed to find the muddiest bench in the whole village. So behind me over here is a former Dominican priory. Before that it was the residence of the Plantagenet kings of England, and it's also the burial place of Piers Gaveston, the favourite of Edward II. Gaveston was also rumoured to be Edward II's lover. He was promoted well beyond his abilities to the first Earl of Cornwall, and because of this and his closeness to the king, he made enemies at court and was exiled on a couple of occasions due to pressure from the barons. One thing to note, Gaveston was not actually killed by Edward I Longshanks, as is shown in the historically inaccurate movie Braveheart, but he was killed on his return from his second banishment by two Welshmen, and he was buried just here. The exact location of his tomb is not known, and the slightly dark history of this site is also evidenced by the fact that a former king of England was buried here. Richard II was buried in the same location. This was after the king had been deposed and starved to death in Pontefract Castle. But the king's remains did not rest here long, as Henry V had them removed and taken to Westminster Abbey. So this video is going to explore the old priory, see how close I can get to it, see how much I can see of it, and see if there's anything else of historical interest. And this is the priory, or as close as I can get to it from this angle. There is a large allotment between the road and the last remaining building of the medieval palace. So forgive the noise because I'm right next to quite a busy road. But the final priory building, the original building, is there. This is all kind of restricted, it's an allotment here, but it's interesting to note that the body of Piers Gaveston could well be underneath a horticulturalist plot behind me. These are some slightly better shots of the old beams on the medieval priory building, and this is generally the only view that people get of this incredibly historically significant site. But I wasn't ready to give up yet, and I did manage to get a much better, closer glimpse from the other side. As you can see, the buildings appear to be in use, and I was keen not to linger too long. No one wants to be chased off a former medieval priory. But the fleeting glimpse shows the impressive structure still intact and in good order. I wonder if many who live nearby know of the former splendour of the site or the dark history of Gaveston's interment here. And as we shall see, there is a part of the palace still visible and standing on the main street. In fact, it's in someone's front garden. It's not every day you see someone's house just with a bit of medieval palace in the garden. So this is the former Rudolph Steiner school, which was built on the grounds of the Dominican priory. The school closed down quite a few years ago under quite grim circumstances that I won't go into here, but it just looks like it's closed its gates yesterday, and that's it. It's quite eerie. Thankfully, one old palace that was fully intact and open to visitors was the village pub. It had a wonderfully oldie-worldy interior and warped beams, and it was obvious that the owners sided with Richard II, despite him being deposed in 1399 in favour of Henry Bolingbroke of the House of Lancaster, who would be crowned Henry IV. So I didn't find the lost tomb of Piers Gaveston after all, but there was much to be discovered in this small village with a macabre but regal past. But for now, that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, share, and most importantly subscribe, and you can also support the channel on Subscribestar via the link in the description or via YouTube Super Thanks. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.